The deal between Senate President Steve Sweeney and the NJEA President Marie Bliston. They announced a surprise agreement this week on health care costs. They're former enemies, and they are putting forward a plan they say will save $1 billion for taxpayers and for teachers. So I guess my question is, are they making peace here? Is Sweeney making deals? Are they making peace?
So we had an editorial board with Senator Sweeney on Wednesday, and what he told us was he would call it a thaw in their relationship between the two. It's not a full peace or a full détente yet.
It's a great political word.
Yeah, exactly. But certainly it is big news because they've been at odds since 2011, back when a lot of these changes were put in place that the teachers have found to be very onerous in terms of the continuing increase in the cost for their health benefits.
So would this be considered a major concession? Essentially, they're saying it's going to save $1 billion. There's going to be two tiered lower cost health plans. But do we know if it's a good deal? Yeah, I mean, we don't know the design plans.
Well, we don't. That's a crucial point. I mean, there is no bill just yet, and I think the devil will be in the details. I promised myself I'd never use that cliche. I just did, but
thanks for using
I think
it here
that'll
with us,
be
then.
a very important point. And noticeably, the governor's office wasn't at the podium while the governor is recuperating.
Nor was Craig Coughlin, speaker.
Nor was Craig Coughlin. But the optics of it going forward now, though, I mean, to have, the NJEA, who tried to destroy Steve Sweeney's career not too long ago by recruiting a Trumpian Republican and pouring millions into his campaign.
Most expensive
ever
in state history,
and then
legislative race.
We also heard the rhetoric from Steve Sweeney over the battle over the constitutional amendment flap, where I believe that was the trigger event where he basically accused them or called out the federal prosecutor's office to investigate them for political extortion. So I mean, this is some really bad poisonous blood here that's going on. I think also the NJEA is going to have to sell it to its members too. So there's a lot of question marks here, and it does look like, though, that Sweeney is sort of maneuvering to move the ball forward, showing that he can still govern, and instead that he's still a powerhouse in there, because lately, frankly, he hasn't had a lot of home runs. Yeah, I mean, marijuana's faltered. Right. He said he was going to stop the anti-vax bill crowd, and they won out that round. I just think that, and his path to progress is really a road to nowhere.
Well, I mean, in his path to progress, he said he would have liked to have seen these plans go from platinum to gold, and this is a concession in that part, in that he told us at the press conference, these are still platinum plans. Yeah. And that was a key piece.
Yeah, but the way that's true. That was a key piece. But he sold Path to Progress as this total governmental reform. We're going to reduce government spending, and we won't even talk about a tax hike first until we lower the cost of government through my agenda. And now, what have we seen in the past couple of months? Well, I'm interested in talking about the millionaire's tax without a path to progress. And now we're taking a related piece and talking about going forward. But the rest of it, well, that's going to go in the state library shelf of
is that where they go to the state
thing
library?
now? There's a big wing in the library.
If it's $1 billion taken out, is there a compromise in quality? I mean, does anyone lose? Did doctors lose? Insurance companies lose?
We don't know those questions. Those are good questions.
Right. Yeah. We don't have the details yet, and we certainly need them. And just in terms of what Senator Sweeney says about taxes, yes, he has been talking about agreeing to the millionaire's tax, but he has said recently he doesn't really support any of the other ones, increases that Murphy has put forth, the cigarette taxes or guns and ammunition, the change on the corporation business tax. He's totally against or he's at least leaning against those. So I don't know where we end up with the budget.
Well, and meanwhile, we've still got a Democratic presidential primary in the mix here. And on the